So, the holidays are over, and we've indulged, and we've partied, and we've basically abused our bodies with lack of sleep, bad food, alcohol, all the things we do when we party, sugar. So now it's time to detox. Hi, I'm Mary Bourne. I'm a traditional naturopath, and I love sharing natural remedies with people. Natural remedies help provide strength and give the body endurance and help it heal. Drugs work on symptoms, and they relieve symptoms. They control symptoms, but the symptoms are there to tell us there's something wrong. So what we want to do is listen to the symptoms and see what is the body trying to tell us. So I don't work on diagnosed conditions. I work on trying to balance the body, figure out what is it saying to me and how can we listen to it and help it be as dynamic as possible. So what is detoxification? You know, the medical term is when you've got alcohol poisoning or you drug overdose or whatever. I'm not really talking about those type of things. I'm talking about every single day we are bombarded by toxins, by the air we breathe, by the food we eat. Our environment is toxic, and through the month of January, which I'm focusing on toxins, I will be posting different things, some videos. I have a very dear friend in Ann Arbor who has written a wonderful book on your toxic burden, and she's giving a lecture. I'm going to give you a link to that, and maybe you can join her in January 28th in Ann Arbor and listen to what she has been writing about and researching for the last umpteen years. So, how do we detoxify? Well, the body actually has its own mechanism. It is part of the way our body works is when there's toxins, the body tries to eliminate it. And if we give it the tools, it can do this very efficiently. But sometimes we overload it. We eat too much, we drink too much, and the holidays are an example of how this can happen. So, a lot of people will diet. After the holidays, they say, okay, today, 2019, gonna lose my 10 pounds or whatever. And as they start losing weight, they don't feel good. And the reason for this is that toxins are stored in fat. And when you start losing fat, you start spreading these toxins throughout the body. And now it's secured these toxins in the fat because it doesn't want you to get sick. But here you are losing the fat and exposing the rest of the body to the toxins. So today's class is basically one of 4 that we're going to talk about what you can do to not get sick, because I don't know about you, but everybody in my family has been sick somewhere between Thanksgiving, well, actually, it even started in Halloween, because what do we do in Halloween? We eat all that candy. So it's, we're setting us up for being sick. And if we don't detox and get rid of these stored chemicals and toxins in our body, then it's going to say, hey, I've had enough, and it will make you have flu symptoms. It'll make you have chills and fever and maybe want to throw up and sleep all the time. And a lot of you work. A lot of you have children where you have to take care of them. A lot of children are getting sick. So stay tuned to this class and the rest of them that I will be teaching in January, because these are really important lessons to be learned. So the first thing we can do is drink water. Now, I like to add chlorophyll to my water. Yum. Or you can add a nice fresh lemon. Just make sure you're getting half your body weight in ounces of water. So, for example, if you weigh 175 or 175 pounds, then you need half of that in water, okay? So that's, if you have the flu or cold, it stands for that too. You can make some wonderful herbal teas there. Bigelow has a great ginger lemon tea out there that is very good. Sweating helps you to eliminate that part of the body. So we have 4 eliminative channels, and I'll show you a chart in just a minute. So we want to drink plenty of water. We want to get enough rest because the body can heal better when it's resting. Some people say, oh, I feel better after I exercise. Well, you're sweating out some of the toxins, but your body does need to rest. And on my website, I have written an article, and it will tell you right here in the newsletter thing on N-acetylcysteine, which I'm going to talk more about next week, but you can read that article. And there's also a link for the medical preference for age in how much rest a person should get. So you can look that up, and bornforhealth.com is my website, and you look under newsletters. So you want to also put in the good stuff. Put in some nice organic chicken soup. Some people will eat a limited diet. I have a great recipe on my website for bone broth if you don't know how to make it, but that is excellent for when you're not feeling well. And I try to have at least 2 to 3 meals of bone broth every week. So put in the good stuff. If you're going to do a juice fast, make sure that you eat 20 or 80% vegetables and 20% of the fruit. Now, I consider carrots a fruit because it has a real high glycemic level. And remember, when you're juicing, you're taking out the fiber, and the fiber helps to slow that glycemic down, which causes the pancreas to pump out insulin. So you want to make sure you're not overwhelming your pancreas at the same time. So put in the good stuff: spinach, kale, cucumbers. You can juice just about anything. Or you can choose to do a smoothie. Nature Sunshine has some fabulous vegetable-based smoothies that you can use as a gentle meal that your body doesn't have to do a lot to digest. So some people will do intermittent fasting, and that's highly recommended. So you finish your dinner about 6 or 7, and then you fast for 12 hours. You can do water, but you don't do any more food. And then you have a very light breakfast. That can be your smoothie. And then a salad for lunch, and then a healthy dinner where you have 3 to 4 ounces of protein and some vegetables and a little bit of fat, because fat's really important. So you can do this for 10 days, and you'd be amazed how much energy you have, how much better you feel. So helping to make sure all the eliminative organs are working. So here's this chart I was telling you about. And you can see you have 4 eliminative channels. You have your lungs, your skin, your kidneys, and your colon. And if you put in good fuel, you'll have a nice burning, efficient working body. And you can assist it with a lot of different things that I'm going to give you some tips. So next week we're going to talk more about supplementation. But today I wanted to talk about most of the things you might have on hand that you can get started right today and start your detoxing. So one of the things I want to talk about next week is N-acetylcysteine, but I did put some information on my website about it. That was the NAC, so that stands for N-acetylcysteine, and so you can look at that in the section where you look on the tab where it says Herb Encyclopedia, and you can read more about that. But it's a fabulous supplement that helps to detoxify. I especially like it. We have a combination called milk thistle combination, and it has N-acetylcysteine in it. But milk thistle is very helpful for the liver to give it the energy it needs to detoxify. So some of you, to put it delicately, your colon isn't very efficient. You should have 2 to 3 bowel movements every single day, and they should be natural and not forced. And drinking water will help because the colon needs a lot of water, and it needs fiber. The fiber helps to fill it up, and then it feels full, and then you can eliminate. So eating a lot of fiber foods is good. You can get fiber, but sometimes the peristalsis, the action of the colon, isn't working well. This often happens when you've had gallbladder removal because the gallbladder drips bile into the beginning of the large intestine to start this peristalsis. So Cascara sagrada is a very effective herb to help with peristalsis. So if you want to do some sweating, a great thing to do is fill up the bathtub with your bath salts. I like to add lemon essential oil for this particular thing, and your Epsom salts, and I taught you in previous videos to add your essential oil to the Epsom salts, mix it up, and then put it in your bath. And you want to sit in it for about 20 minutes. It should be rather warm, but not uncomfortable. And you can add a little bit of non-scented gentle soap to it to make a bubble bath or whatever. And, put on some nice music and some candles and sit in there and let the skin detox. And that's very beneficial. So taking supplements that support the liver during detoxification is, some people do it on a daily basis. So we have something that is perfectly good for daily detox, and it includes the milk thistle. And that's on that link, tickets, because when you click on that link, it'll send you right to the Nature Sunshine website. And that's the company I depend on for my health. And for 75 years, I've maintained a healthy body. I don't do everything right, but my husband and I feel like you do 80-20. So you do 80% good, and then when you want to do the 20% bad, your body can handle it. But most of us are doing the reverse of that. You're actually doing 80% bad and 20% good. So that, no wonder we're sick. So read more about the how to get rid of toxins through my newsletter and through the link that I gave you. Maybe you don't realize how toxic our world is. We have pesticides on our food, so unless you're eating organic, you're eating pesticides, you're eating herbicides. Many of us in our bloodstream have residues of these pesticides and that, so we need to get these out. We have energy toxins that affect us energetically, and some of us, they're called EFMs, and some of us are more affected than others. Not too long ago, I saw a video on how affected these people are, and there's a place where there is a, what do I call it? Well, they can't have any cell phones. So they collect all the cell phones, and they don't have any Wi-Fi. And because of some kind of connection to the Hubble space thing, they have to eliminate any of other interferences. And people have sought that place out to live because they cannot tolerate the Wi-Fi energy. So some of you may be suffering from that, and you don't even realize it. So please learn some things. You know, we live in a fantastic world. When I was growing up, you had to go to the encyclopedia, and now you just click on a Google or voice in Siri, and you've got the answers. But, you know, you've got to be aware who's giving you those answers. So a lot of like WebMD is supported by the pharmaceutical industry. And so you got to kind of like take their answers with a grain of salt. Try and find other answers to that question and triangulate it. Make sure that you have a bunch of different sources telling you the same thing. Then you can believe it. Don't just depend on one source, because that source may be have, you know, their profit in mind. They're not giving you the whole story. It is amazing that we are held in the dark in a lot of circumstances, and the only way we can become enlightened is to read or dig in and investigate. So, and I've been doing this for like 35 years, so I think it's really, really important. So when you're going to make a decision, I want you to promise me that you will do one thing. You will take a minute, maybe even not even that. It can be just try to widen the pause. So between stimulus and response, there's a pause. And if you can take the time to take a deep breath and say, is this in my best interest? Is this really what I want for my vision of 2019? You know, most of the decisions we make are emotional. They're made with our heart brain. We have 3 brains. We have the heart brain, where we do everything by emotion. We have the thinking brain, which, man, can things get stuck in there? You know, we cycle around and we can't make a decision because it cycles around in there. So the other brain we have is our gut brain. Now, if we can keep our gut healthy, this is the instinctual, this is the brain that tells us what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, it's based on feelings as well, but it also can gather energy from all over to help you make that decision. So get in touch with your gut brain and see if that feels right in your decision-making process. So if, by the way, if any of this is helpful, send me some hearts or click on the emojis. Facebook will help promote these classes if I get enough hearts and emojis. They really aren't that concerned about the likes. You know, everybody gets likes. But if you can send me some hearts, I sure would appreciate it. So I want to talk to you about a lemon essential oil. Do I love lemon? I love orange too. But lemon essential oil is one of those, let me see if I can do this right. Okay, there. Lemon essential oil is very uplifting and invigorating, and most people like it. I mean, it's really rare when you come across somebody who says, "Oh, I don't like that smell." So you can feel free to make a spray or hand sanitizer with lemon and not offend anybody. But let me tell you, now this too is on my website. It's a link where it's an alphabetical listing of all the products I talk about. And lemon essential oil is antibiotic. In fact, it's even effective against MRSA, which is an antibiotic-resistant staph infection. And it's rampant through our hospitals. So if you're going to do a hospital visit with somebody, make sure you make up hand sanitizer with lemon essential oil. So the way I do it is 1/3 of the silver, the gel, then I add 1/3 more of the silver liquid. Now you can add the water because it really is potent enough to handle water, but I like that extra little bit during this time of the year when there's so many people sick around me. So I then add a little bit of water to fill it up to the shoulder, and then I add, now this is a 1 ounce bottle, so I add 10 drops of the lemon essential oil. So for every ounce, you're going to add 10 drops of the lemon essential oil. And you shake that up, and you put a little bit on your hands, rub it on, and I rub it all over my face because I want to breathe it in, and I want anything I breathe to be halted by this lemon essential oil. Oh, and it smells so yummy. So you think you're having lemon pie. So it really is a great thing to do, and it's simple, and you can, now please buy quality essential oils. Nature Sunshine gives us Sure Source guarantee. So what that means is that the grower has to be organic. It has to be grown organic, and they get certification from that. They get a blueprint from the grower of what this oil looks like through a special chemistry equipment. And then it goes to the distiller. And from the distiller, they also get a blueprint. So now they've got these 2 blueprints. They get the oil, and at the manufacturing plant, we do a 3rd test and get the blueprint. And all 3 blueprints must match. Now, I don't know any other company that does that. So if you're going to spend the money on essential oils, please make sure you're getting quality oils. And you don't need a lot. So when you use the lemon essential oil, it's calming. It is bacteria resistant. It's also fungal resistant and viral resistant. So you can, it doesn't matter what the infection is. And it doesn't matter if someone says, I've got the flu or a cold. Those are things that lemon essential oil can address very beautifully. So do yourself a favor and get yourself some lemon essential oil, some silver, and try not to get sick this year. You know, one of the things that we can do for children and for yourselves, if you're all stuffed up, which a lot of people are, use this Typhoon lotion rub it on your chest. It's such a better alternative to Vicks Vapor Rub. You know, Vicks Vapor Rub base is petrochemical. Now, petrochemicals are toxic. Why would you want to put something toxic on your body when you're trying to detox? It makes no sense to me. So, many of the things that we have in our house and in our cupboards are toxic. Let's start clearing out. This is a good time. We're going to start cleansing our bodies. We're going to start cleaning out our cupboards. And we're going to start getting rid of these toxins. One of the things that I like to use as a cleaner is the Essential Shield. Now, it has the Essential Shield oil in it. And man, it's a really great cleaner. You can put it in your toilets. You can mix it with baking soda and make a scrubby thing. You can mix it with a little bit of vinegar. I just love it for all of my cleaning. So you can get some of that also in that link that I've put on the Get Tickets. So if you're going to choose a cleaning product, make sure it's free and clear. Make sure it's not going to contribute to allergies. The reason we have so much allergy is that we're dealing with so many toxins and the body wants to get rid of them. So let's help it. Stay tuned for next week where we'll talk about some herbs that will help you and your liver and your whole body, right from the cells on, to detoxify. If you're able to, you can come to my class on chronic inflammation. That's going to be this coming Saturday in Southfield at 10 o'clock. This is 10:30, at 10 o'clock. And I will go over chronic inflammation. One of the contributing factors is your toxins, and that's why today's class. So I want you to share this information with other people. Everybody needs to know how toxic the world is and what you can do about it. So I like to think of these Tuesday morning classes as coaching sessions. Everybody needs a coach, and everybody needs, let's do this thing. Let's keep in touch. Keep commenting. Share with others. Make a group and share with the group these videos so that you can be healthier. Let's make 2019 your healthiest year yet. And let me be your helper, your guide. I don't want to be your only guide, but let me be one of them. I would be happy to share with you the information I've gathered through the years and the research that I've done. So keep focusing on good choices, on what's important for your health. And I want to thank you for viewing Dr. Mary's Health to Home, and see you next week.